Welcome everybody to episode 51 of Podcast On with Barb and Cynthia. We are two sisters and yarn shop owners in Edmonton, Alberta, and the name of our store is
River City Yarns.
Let's tell everybody, if you're joining us for the first time, what is it that we talk about, Barb?
Well, we talk about what it's like to run a little local yarn shop. We show things that we've been making, things that we've got works in progress, events that we're holding, things that we're doing. And
it's kind of,
we talk about everything yarny.
Right? It's kind of like you came into the shop to shop for something, and we started a conversation and told you about some things that we think might inspire you, some new products, some old products that you might not have used before, things to make your knitting and crocheting just more fun.
Yeah.
And we think it's, more fun when you do it with other people. And so we're really excited and happy to have so many people joining us here each month for our podcast. In fact, last month was our 50th episode, and we put out a little bit of challenge to people to comment on what their favorite episode was. And at the end of this podcast, we're going to draw a name from all those folks who made comments and reward them with a $50 RCY gift card. So stay tuned for that.
And we'll show you all kinds of things that you can use your gift card to spend.
Barb is, of the two of us, Barb is far more the yarn enabler.
You bet. Why else would you be here, right? Yeah. Let's just cut to the chase, right? Yeah.
So let's just start off with, what have you been up to, Barb? What's new in your...
I was just going to say, we're still got this COVID plastic sheet between us. So COVID's still a real issue here in Edmonton. And believe me, running a yarn shop, retail bricks and mortar store is completely different with COVID. So we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary with our store being closed.
Yes.
So that was a big event.
And in fact, I'm glad that you brought that up, Barb, because numbers here in Alberta are worse this month than they were last month and the month before. So even though we're starting, to roll out vaccines, we still need to take precautions because those variants are on the rise, and we don't want to get one.
Yeah. And it's scary. Like I had my vaccine this week.
You went for your first shot. How'd it go?
Well, good. I mean, it was like a vaccine that you have. It hurt like a little bit the first day.
Did you cry?
No.
Oh, it was sore. Like when you were reaching into the cupboard for the cookies, your arm was sore?
That's it.
Because when you go to get a vaccine, you get a treat, right? That's the rule. Is it not?
Oh, I hadn't heard that, but I'm going to use that on the next one. And apparently the next one hurts even a little bit more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because either that or vice versa, because apparently your body is now fighting it. So when you have the second one, at least that's what happened with our pneumonia vaccine that we got. Okay. It was a two-parter. Yeah. And same sort of thing, like the second one, I think your body is now recognizing that virus and it's fighting it off, so it's going like, oh my God.
Yeah. But any stiffness or soreness that you had went away?
No, that was fine. The next day kind of thing, it was gone. But we do have to wait for that second one, to come. And now there's the whole variant thing, so that's creating just a little bit of anxiety, I'd say. And, across our country, too. And I heard in Toronto there were 2,000 variant cases yesterday.
So again, we understand it's a bit of a, what's the word? It's a bit of an inconvenience to wear a mask because I just took mine off. I don't know if you can still see the lines on my face from where the nose guard was sitting on my nose. It's a bit of an inconvenience, and having the plexiglass it's different, but I can see you quite fine.
Yes.
And it does, I think, actually smooths the wrinkles is what I'm thinking. When you look at somebody through a glass, you don't see all the fine lines that you might see if you were standing or sitting just a little bit closer.
There you go. There's always a benefit.
You know, there's a silver lining to everything. And so, yeah, you know, when you get your vaccine, you should put something cold on it or in your mouth, like ice cream or a popsicle. I think that's fair. I'm waiting to get my vaccination. So, you know,
What's your treat?
Being just a tad younger than Barb, it'll take me a little bit longer to get my vaccination. My treat is going to be an ice cold beer.
Yeah, I knew that one actually. Yeah.
So
I'll let you have that one. I know that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you went for your vaccine. And what else is new? Anything?
Well, I guess it's just a time that I'm very glad that I'm a knitter and a maker because, you know, to have something, you know, to keep you busy, to keep your mind off of the news and things like that, I think is a great thing to do. So very grateful for that. And to be able to come in to work every day too. We're still processing mail orders. It's kind of it's not as busy as it was earlier this year.
Right.
But Cynthia and I are spending time doing fun things like going to retreats, Vogue Knitting
Virtually.
Live, and classes, and spending our time learning, which I love. I think there's nothing better than taking classes and learning something new.
You know, when life gives you lemons, right? You just make tons of lemonade and you spike it with vodka, and then, you know, everything's good. Right?
Right. So with that segue, you know, we're working, why don't we jump into works in progress and FOs and
yeah, let's talk about finished objects.
Sure.
'Cause I have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing one. I don't know if you noticed, Barb, but I am wearing my
I know.
Pemberton.
I'm sad because I got sideswiped into other projects. And
I may have given Barb a little bit of a challenge this month, and so she may have been.
So you have to stand up and show that off. That's so pretty.
Yeah, well, you know what? I tell you what. Let's insert a little stand-up shot of me right about here, and then that way I don't have to smooth out the wrinkles.
I love the color that you picked too.
Thank you.
Really
yeah.
Nice.
So when we started on this project, the Pemberton pullover is a knit-along that was sponsored and started by Blue Sky Fibers. It's knit out of Blue Sky Fibers wool stock. And for those of you who are going to ask, because there's always a few people ask, is wool stock itchy? I will let you know that I am wearing this sweater with nothing underneath. I mean, besides undergarments. But, you know, like I'm not wearing a t-shirt underneath or a tank top, and I'm totally comfortable and fine in it. So wool stock is just a beautiful 100% wool that is definitely wearable next to the skin.
It's a Highland Peruvian wool too, which is the same as our Epic yarn.
Yeah.
But it's just spun differently.
Yeah, it's a 2-ply yarn. So you got 2 plies and it's spun a little bit looser than Epic is. Yep. And it's cozy. You know, again, it's spring weather, so it can be cool, it can be warmer, but it's never warm enough that you wouldn't put a sweater on to go outside. So it's perfect in this time frame to wear. Yeah.
And the fit is perfect as well.
I'm kind of pleased.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I'm kind of pleased because when we set out to do this sweater, I took a lot of measurements and I figured, you know, my hips are actually wider than my chest. And so when I knit this sweater, I started with a bigger size at the bottom, and then I did some decreases up to the underarm so that by the time I hit the chest, I was working on a smaller size. And I did the same thing on the sleeves. I started the sleeves out with a larger size, and then by the time I got to the shoulder cap, I was up to the smaller size for the chest. And so I really feel like it fits me well in the shoulders.
It's perfect,
Yeah,
Cynthia.
yeah.
It's just perfect.
And it's got this subtle A-line shape. When I stand up, you'll see that. And so, you know, I feel like that was a good modification for me. Yeah.
And didn't we have a lot of fun too? I mean, really, we met every 2 weeks with our group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had lots of adventures along the way. So if you want to see the tutorial videos that came out of this particular project, we have them listed on our website and on Ravelry. And the so you know, some of the adventures were, you know, making a mistake in this. So the detail pattern on the sweater is just alternating knits and purls. But if you're watching TV or if you've put vodka in your lemonade, turns out you might make a mistake on that. So one of the videos is how to correct a mistake after you've made it, by just, unraveling down some rows and knitting back up again. Not rows, sorry, unraveling some stitches for a few rows and then working them back up again so you're not actually frogging.
But we did have a lot of discussion about modifications. And I think there were a lot of people who were in the group who this was their first sweater.
Yeah.
Right? There were some people who had knit many sweaters too. So it was nice having the variety of people. But for the new knitters, I think that we were able to help them with a lot of instruction and support and guidance.
Yeah.
To make them stronger, more confident knitters, wouldn't you say?
Agreed. Yeah. So, we filled in some of the gaps in the pattern. So for example, there's a video on how to ease in the shoulder, like how to seam, but easing in the shoulder cap as you do it. We've got a video on just, the decreasing for the armhole and when that interrupts your pattern, what do you do? And then I did a little video on how to lengthen or shorten the sleeves because the sleeves on this sweater were quite long. And then I ended up knitting mine and they were too short. And so then there's another video on how to snip a stitch and then insert a little bit of patterning along your sleeve so that you can have longer sleeves. And
that's the genius thing about, I think, a group or knitting with a local yarn shop is that you can get that support, because being on your own, I don't know that a lot of people would have done that. They probably would have ripped that sleeve out and knit it again. And that's an awful lot of time when you have saved, someone that time by giving them a suggestion. So
yeah, it's fun to do. I mean, basically, it's just a video where we've made a mistake and here's how to fix it. If you have if you sort of done it before, it's much easier, right?
Well, and having you talk us through that on Zoom, I mean, that was really a great way to take some of the stress out, right?
Oh, good. Well, good. Yeah, I mean, yes, knitting in the company of others is really important. And we're going to come back to that because we've got another one coming up that will again invite you to knit in the company of others, which is, I think, a really nice way to complete projects. Yeah. So you are going to complete your Pemberton, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I just had to put it aside for a little bit to do some swatching and get some stuff off the needles, and then I'll be right back to it.
Yes. So that's my first finished object.
Nice.
I may have a couple more, but how about you?
Go ahead.
What have you got?
Oh, I have a few things too, but do you want to?
Well, let's swap. Okay. Let's swap off. Yeah.
All right. So I've been having some fun with completing a few FOs, or works in progress. So last month or the month before, we were doing these die kits in the shop, and we have a really fun kit where you can take a ball of Epic and pop it into a dye bath, and it comes out and it soaks up the dye in a way that's so cool. We showed this little cowl at our Vogue Knitting Live last weekend, and it was really popular. And so what happens is, we'll show you a picture of this one too up close, but what happens is the dye saturates the outside of the ball and not the inside. And so you get this really cool pixelation that happens. The dye saturation on the outside is where I started up here, and then as I knit, this is called the Peaks and Ridges cowl, and it's one of our patterns that we have in the shop. I did a slight modification, just a few less stitches, because this is thicker yarn and I went up to a bigger needle size. But as I was working through the ball, the color changed, and it was so much fun to knit. And it's so neat in the way that it shows off the slip stitch that's in this pattern. So that was one thing I actually got finished and off the needles.
Cool.
And I just want to show this one too, because this is the kit that we have, and this is the yarn in it. It has a little pot of dye, and it has it has an instruction card for how to dye, and it also contains a pattern. And in this kit, we've got the Epic Elf Beanie, which is really cute. So that's this one. And you can see the pixelation in the yarn in the colorways. So at the outside of the ball, it was almost purpley blue, and then the purples kind of went into blues and up to the top. So
this is a really interesting one too, Barbara. So first of all, food safe dye. Like so you can do this at home in your kitchen, no problem. But hold that up again, Barb. The dye for that one, it looks like it would have been purple, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's black.
Oh, this was black.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so the idea here was that you're using black food coloring, and Sabrina explained this to me really well. I mean, when you make black, you have to, if you're an artist or a painter, when you make black, you have to mix different colors together to get black.
Yes.
Black doesn't just occur as a paint. So you have to mix purple and blue and other colors together. So as the dye is attaching itself to the yarn, those colors are breaking apart. And so the purple is the first color to attach itself to the yarn, and then the blues come in later on through there. So
Was this your dye kit? Did you dye this?
No, I didn't dye this one. I don't think so. But do.
You know it's black.
I do recall. Yeah, I know it's black because Sabrina and I had this long conversation about it, and that's she was explaining to me about this. But I didn't really understand until my daughter took an art class for watercolors, and they had to make black. And it was kind of a tedious process because you have to keep adding color to it. And then the idea of it coming apart on the gradient was so it's such a cool process, and it's such a neat thing to do as a knitter or crocheter. This is a fun project, but as an experiment at home on how food coloring comes apart, like what colors make up the color that you started with, is a really interesting experiment. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
That's great. Thank you for that. And these little pots of dye, they are food safe, so you don't have to worry about throwing your pot away afterwards and not being able to use it to cook in afterwards. These are the same dyes that they use for icing color. They're from Wilton. That's the brand name, and we buy them at Michael's and just pop them in these kits. So yeah, just a fun thing to do, and especially if you're looking for activities. If you've got the kids at home and you want something to do, this is a fun thing to do.
Let them dye the yarn for you, and then you can knit them a hat.
Yes.
Right? Or crochet them a beanie. Yeah.
Yeah. And so everyone comes with a little card too that gives you all the instructions on what to do and how to do it and how long to do it.
Right.
So that was one project that I got finished, and then the other was my Dissent Cowl.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a fun project. We got to know Carissa Browning. This is her pattern, Dissent Cowl. And I've loved this cowl for so long. I did not know that she was the designer of it until we got to meet her.
Until we had her for a Saturday seminar.
And then it connected to me that, she was coming and that she had written the pattern for the cowl.
Right.
And then we got this yarn in. And so we have kits. Well, we don't have kits, but we have this yarn up on our website. It's called Mussante. And we brought it in because it's got a small amount of Angora and cashmere in it. And it's so lovely to knit with, Cynthia. I used 3 balls. I used white and black.
Yeah.
I used a full ball of black and a little bit.
Okay.
And then the white, I had this much left over.
Right.
So I think I could have squeaked it away without the second ball of black. But now I have enough to do a pair of wrist warmers with.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to, trim them out with the white and use this up.
Yeah.
But what a fun project that was.
Yes.
All mosaic knitting. And it's got such a nice shape to it. It just kind of crescents out at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it's got a double layer. It folds itself in on the neckline.
That's so nice. I think, yeah, we'll have to, again, we'll insert a little overlay here where you can see Barb.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
showing all the ins and outs of the Dissent Cowl, named after or named in honor of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who always wore something special when she gave the dissenting opinion in the Supreme Court. So that's really cool. Yeah. Oh, good. Good. So yeah, you were working on that was a work in progress last time, and now it's a finished object.
Yeah.
So good job. Good job. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't remember. Did I have the socks done?
I think you had them. I think you had them done, but maybe not blocked.
Or I think I had one toe left to do.
Maybe.
Yeah. So they are now done.
Right.
And these are the ones from the Operation Sock Drawer book that we've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we're gonna
We're gonna talk about this more later.
Yeah. So good. You made some good progress on finished objects.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I brought in some new finished objects, but also some finished objects that I've kind of been stockpiling. So
Yay.
let me grab my little bag here. So remember I told you I was doing those slippers. So this is a free pattern from. I will put a link to it. It's a free pattern called the Simple Garter Stitch Slippers, and I've been using up felted tweed. A double-stranded felted tweed. And so, I had quite a stash of felted tweed. So I've just been making these slippers. It's become kind of my Zoom meeting thing to do because they're so simple. So I got 4 pairs done. I mean, not in the last month, but in the last couple of months.
Nice.
And then I was really inspired by that, so I decided to make some Easter slippers for Rachel and Hayden. And look at this, Barb.
Oh my God.
So it's the same pattern as these ones, but I borrowed the ears from Church Mouse Yarns and Tea Easter slippers. So the slipper pattern is the same as this one here. It's that simple garter stitch one, but the ears come from Church Mouse Yarns and Tea. And it's one skein.
Yeah. I'll those up for you.
So those are Hayden's.
Yes.
Shh, don't tell Hayden. And these are Rachel's. I'm going to put them out and put some Easter eggs in them, and then they can find them.
Oh my gosh,
but isn't that fun?
These are really hefty.
Yeah. So that one is a
merino.
That one is a merino. Yeah. It's from Seven Sisters.
Held double.
Yes. And this one is an Aran weight wool superwash wool.
I recognize that. This, I think, is turtle pearl.
No, it's Cephalopods.
Oh.
I mean, these are, when you go places and you get one skein of yarn and you bring it home and you say, why did I only buy one skein of yarn?
Yes.
This is why. You can make Easter slippers for little people with them.
These are so cute.
They're
going to love these, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. I mean, they may not be slipper wearers, but it didn't take very long to make them. And again, I've got a little bit of leftover, so one skein and
Even if you just stuff them and, put them out on your dining room table. I mean, how cute are these?
Oh, you can do an adult pair, right?
Those are sweet.
It's just little ears on them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so once you put your foot in, the ears will stand up a little better. Yeah. So that's my little cute Easter surprise. So I've been having lots of fun with this pattern.
And those felted tweed slippers are gorgeous.
They're really cozy,
Yeah.
And
so explain the difference between the simple socks and Erica's pattern.
Oh, so this is knit flat.
Okay.
Erica's was as well. Erica starts with a sole, and then you make the upper and you sew the upper to the sole. This one is it's knit flat. You go back and forth, and then she has you crochet up here. I just picked up stitches and did a 3-needle bind off, and I did a little bit. I made a little mod to the heel.
Shaping at the heel.
Just a little bit. I did some decreases in here just to make it a bit rounder. But you certainly don't have to do that. Just follow the pattern, and then you can have some fun with striping.
That's so fun.
Great way to use up yarn.
Yeah.
And then wash them, and I just laid them like this to dry so they'd have kind of like a foot shape. And then they stack. See, I put a little loop on
Very
this
nice.
one. Each one is a different size because I don't keep track of anything. I just
mine have loops on them too, and I hang them on the door handle to my closet.
yeah, because it's like a smaller handle.
Actually, mine is but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yes, you can hang it on a small one too.
Yeah.
But they're just so nice because they're always there, right? I have 2 pairs of them.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, are you going to put leather soles on them?
I wasn't planning to, but you certainly could. In fact, those ones that we have from Brick Bubble, we have these faux leather soles from Brick Bubble, and they come in 2 pieces. So you have a toe piece and a heel piece, and they would fit on really nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because that was the thing with mine. They wore out really quickly, and I wished I would have put the leather soles on. I think I'm going to go back and...
You still could, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I actually went and repaired them.
Good for you.
Yeah. And they're really quite cushy now.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yep.
they're like another layer of sole.
Yeah.
But I think having the leather on the bottom would be even nicer because that's exactly where they wore.
Yeah. Yeah, so a nice investment in doing it ahead of time rather
Those
than
are
afterwards.
super. And aren't slippers great? I mean, we're spending so much time at home right now.
Yes. And so I thought, I have one by my chair, and I just pull it out whenever I'm reading a story or doing something, watching TV, doing something mindless. And then I make one flat, and then I make the second one flat, and then I seam them up and weave in the end. So lots of fun. Anyway, that was my...
Nice. So those are some FOs, and you also did a pair of socks too?
Yeah, but I'm going to hold off on talking about those until we get to the,
What
until
about
we get to
works
the Spy
in
21.
progress?
Yeah. What have I got? Well, basically just socks. So I think before we get into, so maybe we should take a really quick little cut here and launch into our Spy 21 discussion.
Okay.
Want to do that?
Yep.
All right.
Good evening, Agent K2P2. People are walking around their homes barefoot and bored, and we urgently need your help. Your mission is to fill your sock drawers with as many pairs as you can make. This book will be your guide, and we have provided you with limited edition yarns to complete your mission. Agents B and C will be in touch to provide guidance, but will disavow all knowledge of this mission. This row counter will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck.
Good afternoon, Agent B.
Hello, Agent C.
What's the password?
KPS.
Ooh, okay. KPS. You're gonna, okay, all right. KPS. Is there a secret handshake too?
I think there should be. We're going to have to.
KPS.
Oh, that's very good. If it wasn't COVID, we could actually do the slap hands and. But well, yeah, you're right. We have to come up with a secret code for next time.
All right.
Anyways, for this time, we're going to talk about secret tools.
We are, but first let's just recap where we are.
Okay.
So we've done so far 3 pairs of socks, right? No.
4.
Have you done 3 pairs of socks?
Together.
Okay, so
Remember,
January.
it's always better together.
January's mission 1 were the ice cream socks. February's mission 2 were stained glass socks. March's mission 3 was Meandros, and Agent B has completed hers.
Yes, I've completed that mission, and I'm happy to report that here they are. This is Meandros. This is my set of socks. Woohoo! They're done. And these were using our Hat Trick Semi-Solid yarn from Ancient Arts. And I have to tell you, these were so nice to knit. They were a pleasure.
They feel very scrumptious. Yeah, yeah.
Show us yours.
All right, well, so Mission 4, before we get to that, Agent B, do you have any advice for all the other secret agents out there working on Meandros?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah?
Actually, this pattern was really quite good. I think the only thing that I would say is that my sock ended up being a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. I thought that the mosaic knitting would come in more like Floral. It didn't, really. Okay. You're only, using 2 colors, or you're doing 2 rounds with 1 color at a time. And so, and a lot of slip stitches. So I would probably next time knit it a little bit smaller. So
technically speaking, what's happening with slip stitches is that your rows might compress, but the width of the stitches doesn't. So if you would normally knit on 64 stitches, then you would recommend, doing it on 64 stitches?
I guess it depends, right? You have to try it on.
Yeah, good point.
Right?
Good point.
What I did though was I used my sock ruler. I have it here somewhere.
Oh, here.
Oh, that's it. This was the most helpful tool, you guys. I use this, and I feel like I got the length perfect this time. I've had issues knitting socks the right length, but this helped me get the length right. So the leg of my sock's a little bit big, but the foot fits perfectly thanks to this handy tool.
The nice thing about this tool, right, is that when you go to measure your sock, you can push it in there, because you should be measuring your sock slightly stretched. So this allows you to get that stretch on there and see what it feels like and what the actual measurement is.
I'm just in love with the pattern. I think mine just might, sit on, inside a frame somewhere.
Work of art socks?
Yeah. Or in my drawer, nicely folded. Because I'm in love with this pattern. The Greek key is so pretty. And then the heel. The heel is just really, really pretty.
And again, that looks like stranded colorwork, but it's not.
Right. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know,
Good.
hey?
Okay.
I'm so happy.
So another successful mission?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Mission accomplished.
Good. So last month we gave you a sneak peek of Mission 4, and some of you even pre-ordered your yarn. This week I'm going to show you the completed sock. So this week, or this month I should say, the sock that we're working on for Mission 4 is Meta. And this one is in the book. This one's done with mini skeins. You change colors all the time, and I decided to use a self-striping yarn instead. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Meta is a pattern that uses a tuck stitch. So again, it's striping. There's no thank you, Barb, by Mary Hull. Yeah, there's no. So again, you use whatever you would normally use in terms of stitches. There's no compression of the stitches, but there is a bit of a difference in the row gauge. So if I turn this sock inside out, you can kind of see the tuck stitches that are on there. By tuck stitches, it means that you're going down several rows. In this case, you're going to go down 4 rows to knit in the 4th row below. And that pulls that sock together and pulls the stitches together to give you this little bubble appearance on the outside. So it's really cool that way. And then she's also made it so that you're changing your patterning. So you've got the bubble pattern on the top of your sock, you've got a garter stitch striping pattern on the back of the sock, and then down here you've got a stockinette stitch striping section on the bottom of the sock. I had a lot of fun knitting this, and I thought it was really cool. So rather than using a bunch of mini skeins, I just went with a self-striping yarn. So the colors that we used for this one were 1 skein of Biscotte yarns, so soft. Oh man, this one is the Jasper Townsite colorway. That's what I used here. and one skein or one ball of Lang Trekking in a solid color. I picked this dark gray because there's just a little bit of light silver in here, and I thought that would go nicely, but also the black would look really nice and maybe stand out, pop a little bit more. And then I think there's a navy blue in this line too that would look really nice. What's important is that whatever yarn you use for the striping section, you must make sure that your solid color is not in that stripe, or you'll lose it. You know, that was the lesson I learned from the stained glass socks from Mission 2. Pick a solid color that's not in your striping yarn, and all will be well. I would definitely do these ones again. Now, the other thing that's really critical for me, my secret agent tool for these socks is my River City Yarn sticky notepad. And
I'm using that too. That's why I laughed. I got sticky notes all over everything. Look,
yes. So this is for my stained glass sock.
Yes.
And then this is for Meta. I don't have so many sticky notes left in here. I just have one of the little ones. I like to use these little ones to remind me of where I left off. So when I went on sock 2, I have a little sticky note to remind me where I need to pay attention and count for sock 1 just to match it up. So anyway, that's my secret agent tool. You got yours?
I use mine all the time. I'm just showing you the inside. And these are great too, to put little notes all over the house, you know, like...
Please do the laundry, Mario.
Yeah, or, you know, don't forget to kiss, give your dog a big hug.
I left a pink little one where there was a dust bunny. I'm hoping you'll vacuum that up later. Yes, you can. You can leave it. You can leave lots of little notes around the house, but and reminders to yourself.
Exactly.
So this is really, and it's small and fits in your project bag. So
I'm actually
cool.
using it too with my Vogue knitting book that I got because I was going through picking out all the projects I want to make.
Good for you. And then do you limit yourself to 6 tags?
I think that. You can have as many inspiration projects as you want. How many you actually make is another story. But I'm going to show everybody what I did with my book.
Yeah, I think you did last time, but go ahead and do it again.
Oh my God, okay.
Bragger.
You guys, I got my book bound, so now it sits open flat. I love that. And I also got them to laminate the cover for me.
I'm totally jealous.
I'm always shoving this in my knitting bag, and the covers get all, not anymore. They're actually really hard plastic on the cover. You're jealous?
I'm totally jealous.
Oh,
Look
give
at
me
that.
your book and I'll go take it in for you.
Because we grew up in that German family where you can't crack the spine on your books, or you'd get your fingers slapped. So on the next mission, because Barb and I have to knit ahead, of course, and keep on top so we can give you secret agent advice. On the next mission, I'm working on charts. And I have it open on my lap like this, and it's kind of like a balancing act.
Oh gosh, you need to get your book.
Do need to get it bound, yeah.
I'll take it in for you.
Yeah, but then she reads my secret notes in my secret book.
Hey, look, the day that you start to talk into your communicator, then you have to worry.
The day you start talking into your KK knit kit. Remember Palm Pilots? It's about the size of a Palm
Isn't
Pilot.
It? I know. I just think it would. You know how Maxwell Smart used to talk into his shoe?
I don't think I do remember that.
She does. I remember because we were at home after school together and we used to watch it. This is perfect for, sending secret decoded messages.
Yes. I do recall him talking to the bottom of his shoe.
Yeah.
Hopefully he wasn't walking outside too much. So, I know you're holding it up, but just hang on.
Okay, all right. Well, hurry up.
Secret agent protocol. So, this is mission 4, and we're working on mission 5 and mission 6.
Right. We're trying to stay ahead.
Yes. So, do you want to do mission 5 first? Sneak peek? Yeah? Okay. I think this is so cool because I'm doing, again, we're doing self-striping yarns and solid yarns together. Just going to give you like a little peek here. Look at this. Huh? And this next sock.
That's nothing compared to the actual sock.
I know, it's so,
Wait
it's
till
so
you see
much
the
fun.
actual sock.
Look at this. Don't you love it?
Oh my God, what's that one called?
Such a graphic print. I think it's called
Come on, it's where.
Agent C's favorite sock yet.
Come on,
What
it's
is it
where you
called?
hang out, isn't it? Funhouse.
I think she might have named it Funhouse because you can hardly tell, but this is the reverse image of this. So the chart is the chart's long because the chart charts the entire round of
Exactly.
the sock, but you can't really tell until you really look closely at it. So I'm just having so much fun with this.
It's like looking into one of those funhouse mirrors, right?
Yeah.
Where, the image changes.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
either really big or you're really tall
Yeah.
and skinny. I know,
So-
it's so cool.
Again, we'll put some pairings together for folks or some suggestions. This is trekking again, we're using.
And you might have trekking left over from
Right.
from the meta sock if you,
Yeah,
but you can't, I don't think you can go wrong with black.
no,
I mean, really, black and everything works out really well. Oh, so does white, sort of, but white sometimes fades in
yeah.
and out, but
Yeah. So we looked at the yarns that were originally used for this sock, and we felt like the color sequencing was a little too broad, and so we wanted to narrow it down. So this trekking yarn has really nice stripes. They're not too wide. They're just because the color changes fairly frequently, and there's again this one is balanced in that there are light colors and darker colors, but they're not real light or real dark. They're sort of medium range. And so when you pair it up with your contrast color, every color in here pops.
can you show your sock again?
Yeah. See that? So I haven't gone through all the colors yet. I've just gone through 3 of them. And that's one repeat of the chart.
And how many colors are there in the ball?
In this one?
Yeah.
Well, I have quite a few. Because I haven't gone through, I'm heading into the blue next. There's a green and a yellow that I'm going to go through. It's quite...
And you've done the red, right?
Yeah, the red is in the
I think
middle
the
here.
red is the real key.
Yeah.
The red will pop then.
Yeah, so again, when you're picking your solid color, you want to make sure that none of the colors in your ball, your self-striping ball, are so dark as they're going to blend into this one, or so light that they're going to blend. You want to make sure that you've got sort of medium saturation with a dark yarn. So we've got some pairings that we've gone through with our trekking yarn, and we'll make
That
some
said,
recommendations.
Even that said, the socks the yarn that they've used here, I mean, right here in the leg, they kind of blend in together,
Yeah.
and you can't really see the pattern all that well, but they still look nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm really jazzed about this combination. Obviously,
Yes.
you can
Yeah.
tell. I'm going to probably...
Now the pattern's going to switch too, right? So that your main color becomes your contrast color
Already.
already.
Yeah, so you look at the black dot there,
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
right?
Okay.
Right? So I mean, again, it's hard to tell unless you focus on one particular area. So if you look at the black dot in the center of the diamond there, and I turn it, you can then tell that it's reverse image
I see, said the blind man.
to his deaf wife. Anyway, yeah, it's
just a fun house.
It's just a fun house. So Agent B and I are working ahead on the next couple of socks, trying to stay one mission ahead of you.
Right.
If you want to, order yarn in advance, you'll have to put a little note into the notes field saying, this is my mission, and then we'll package it up for you. Because we haven't got there yet.
We probably will by the time this is aired,
Right.
though.
And I think I was calling that mission 4, and it's really mission 5. So Zip, zip, zip back.
And you called that Lang, but it's actually Zetron.
Okay,
And
so
I didn't want to correct you.
oh, you're so sweet to me. So just to recap, this month's mission is Meta, and we are using Biscotte yarns plus Lang Trek. And we are using Biscotte yarns plus Zetron Trekking, another gorgeous German yarn, to do this combination. And I had a blast with this. I would definitely do this again.
Yeah.
All right.
Super. All right.
Zupa.
It's a beautiful yarn. They're both beautiful. Lang, we've had in our store too in the past, and the Zetron yarn. But I think the thing that I like about the Zetron trekking yarn is the cool color combos that they use, and they've got real nice lengths. Like before the color changes, you've got maybe about 4 rows or so.
Right, in their striping yarns?
Yeah. Very nice. So if you
Yeah.
get a chance, try that out.
Yeah.
And then can we go ahead?
Mission 6,
May I
yeah.
have your permission, agency, to
Yes.
move on?
Yes, go forth.
All right. So I've been knitting ahead too, and I don't know if you'll recognize this sock, but this sock's in the book, and I've been testing it out on a new cotton yarn.
Right.
This is a new yarn that we're testing. I'm going to keep it top secret because, we're not exactly sure.
Because
if it'll
otherwise I
work,
might
but
have to put you in the cone of silence.
That's what this feels like. All right, so this is actually turning out really, really nice, and I
very pretty.
think we're going to offer this in several colors, right?
Yeah.
We just have to choose which colors.
Is this called Gentle Drizzle? Oh. Because I'm going in the cone of silence.
All right, you gave it away, but you can't tell anybody about the yarn yet. We have to have something secret.
Next month.
Yeah, so this is turning out really nice. Stay tuned for more info on this one.
And is this 100% cotton, Barb?
Not sure about the
think
blend.
so.
It's got it has nylon in it.
Does it? Okay.
Definitely, because
And it's hand dyed?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
in Canada.
Nice.
It's beautiful. There's not. You're going to give it away because there's only one dyer that does amazing cotton. Anyways, you guys are going to be pleasantly pleased by this one, and we think it's perfect timing too because it's going to come out in June, and you're going to want some cotton socks with a really nice blend of nylon. I'm just really pleased about the way the yarn's made.
Right. More about that next month, hey?
More about that next month.
Yeah.
All right.
It looks like you've got some secret agent tools in
I
there.
do have some secret agent tools. So, this is like to help me, know where I am in my sock. I call it like a tracking. It's like a GPS, only it's a knit purl S. So these, I'm using my Cocoknits stitch markers to mark every cable repeat.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of markers in there.
I know.
Yeah.
I put it right to mark there's a lot of cables in here.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the 8 rows are all plain, like knit purl.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
And so how are you liking them?
I love these ones.
Yeah.
You can just zip them in and out.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
Do you
It's
have
the first
the,
time I've tried them.
Secret Agent Cocoknit Maker's Keep?
No, I have to get one of those.
I think we might have them in Easter colors.
Oh my God,
Very summer
yeah.
colors. Yeah. The nice thing about that is that then when you take those markers in and out, you just pop them onto your keep, and the
That's
magnetic block on there keeps everything handy. And look at those
Nice.
needles you're using.
I'm loving these. I actually got a second set today because I broke one.
Oh no!
Yeah.
They're very thin.
They're
It's bamboo.
They're very thin. They're very, and I put a little bit too much pressure on and doing these cables, I think.
Right. So did you switch to metal?
Yeah.
For your second set?
Yeah.
Okay.
And get it.
Yeah.
Some metal ones.
Yeah, and the bamboo finish on these needles is so nice.
It is.
They do such a great job with it.
Yeah.
And are you using a small circular to cable with?
Yeah,
or-
I bought this when I was like in Germany or somewhere on a holiday.
Very short circular.
Very short circular, and it drives me crazy. I can't knit socks like this.
Okay.
But using it here.
Did you use it as a substitute third needle? Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
I think I might just bite the bullet and get another set of these, though, instead of the metal ones, because I want to continue on. I don't want to change to metal. It's going to change my gauge.
Yeah.
And I just love these so much. I'll have 5 of them.
You know what might help too? Well, I don't know. Did it break while you were knitting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because, just one more secret agent tool
Yeah,
that
what
I
do you
find
got?
really helpful is these things. So I'm using my Addy flip sticks, and you're using the Addy Flexi Flips.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I put them away, these Clover Coil doohickeys,
I just ordered more of those this week.
yeah, they're really handy. So
Mm-hmm.
I've got mine on 4 needles because that just works out nicely with the chart. But when I go to put them away, because when you don't want to lose your 5th needle,
Yes.
you don't want the stitches to pop off. These little coil
You like
things,
those, don't you? Those little-
I'm quite enamored with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes a bit of getting used to, but you just wind it around your needle and then pop them away. And of course now my needles are not cooperating at all, but that's
Those
okay.
might be a size small. Those might be the really tiny ones.
They are small, yes, and I probably
There's
could use a
several
bigger
different
one.
sizes.
Yeah,
But
you know,
every good secret agent needs the right tools,
it's true.
right, to complete their mission.
It's true. It's very true. You can use these on your electronic cords as well. So
I
that's
just want to
really nice.
share too that I have the flight of these.
Cocoknits flight of stitch markers. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and this is so cool because not only do they have these ones, they have different shapes and sizes, and the triangular ones too are really nice. I used those this week too in
Yes.
a different project, but they all come with little testers where you can try them out,
It's just the right number of stitch markers.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got 5 different kinds of stitch markers, and depending on what project you're working on, you can use a different vial. But if you're working with, it's kind of neat too. Like if you wanted to mark some sections differently,
Yeah.
like if you got selvage stitches and then cable stitches and then
Having all the colors is really nice.
right,
And I
yeah,
used a Clover locking one to mark the beginning of my round, and then the other ones were for the actual cable.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so
All right.
that is the update on our super secret Operation Sock Drawer Spy 21 program. You now are armed with more information about Mission 4 and 5
teaser
and
on.
a teaser on Mission 6. And now we're talking about
Spring.
Flash Mob and spring. Oh,
Yes.
yes.
We're talking about spring. We're so happy that the sun's starting to shine and the snow's melting. And so earlier in the year, we decided for this year's flash mob that we were going to talk all about things that inspired us, yarn from a human and from a nature perspective, where, it was dyed in a way that you could actually feel the spring and feel the weather. And so this month we have our flash mob is called Bright.
Yeah, so we've taken a word a word and an image, put it together to kind of describe the mood for this particular time of year. And then there's a beautiful write-up to go along with it. Do you want to share that with us, Barb?
Let me put on my glasses here.
Oh, you should put on your glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay, so this month's flash mob is called Bright. And the write-up for it is, there's no better surprise than finding that first sprout of the season. After long drab months, seeing cheerful colors pop from our gardens is such a treat. They may not be in full bloom, but it's not too late to start planting seeds. So Bright is dyed by Richard DeVries and the yarns of Richard DeVries. And this month, he's actually done a primary color for us called It's That Spring Thing. And then he's also dyed 2 complementary colors to go with it. So It's a Spring Thing
Yes.
is done on Feed base. And Feed is his merino nylon sock yarn. Oh my God. Isn't that gorgeous?
It is. It's beautiful. And no better person, I think, to do this particular colorway than Richard DeVries. Yeah, Feed is it's a great sock yarn, but you can use it for other things as well. This is 80% merino and 20% nylon. You'll get 430 yards or 393 meters on a 110 gram skein, 3.9 ounces. It's a superwash merino, so can go through the washing machine and not felt. And just look at these colors. So in the main, I sort of think of this as the main colorway. This is the speckle. We've got these gorgeous pops of pink and yellow, blue, green, purple. The speckling on here is phenomenal. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Have a look at this.
Got it undone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way, too, Richard skeins his yarn.
It's a nice tight bundle, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is skeined so nice and tight. But when you unfurl it, oh my God, look at this.
Look at all the colors.
Look at all the colors.
Yeah. Now every one of these skeins is going to be slightly different because when you're putting that speckle on the yarn, it's obviously not a machine that's doing it. Richard is applying the dye to it in his own unique special way, and so every skein is going to be somewhat different. You may get more yellow or more pink or more purple. It just depends. So it's kind of like a surprise.
In here too are so amazing.
I know.
Cynthia, you know, they're done. It almost looks like he's taken the dye and just blown on it because look at how teeny weeny tiny they are.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, he's explained it to us before, but the method for creating those speckles is very tricky. And so he's done a fabulous job.
Oh
and then look at these rich solids.
I know.
So this purple one is called Liz. The pink one is called But It's True.
I know. I still have to phone Robert and find out.
Oh, is there a story behind that?
There's a story. He said, Liz, you know which one. And I'm thinking Liz Taylor. But
right. And I thought Liza Minnelli. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But, and then maybe we thought maybe he was referring to the Queen.
That's right.
But yeah, and these colors are phenomenal. So Barb, are they being sold as sets? Or are they sold individually?
These ones are sold individually.
Okay.
So we have the most of these. It's a spring thing. But then I asked Richard if he would just dye a few of these to go along. Because I know, from time to time you want to do something with a pop of color in there, right?
Yeah.
So if you want, you can pick up one of these as well to go along with it. Or you can just get this.
Yeah. So again, I know I come back to this project a lot, but every time I look at color combinations like this, I'm always drawn to the Over the Willamette shawl. It's a crocheted shawl, and it's got these panels in it that I think, if you did this in the main color, and then you did one panel in the purple and one panel in the pink, that would look really nice together. Or vice versa, if you did it in the purple and did one of the contrasting color panels in the speckle and one in the pink, that would be lovely. I don't think I would buy just the purple or just the pink. I think it really needs to be paired up with this speckle.
I don't know. Some people just die for this hot pink and purples too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but doesn't this just remind you of Easter and crocuses and beautiful flowers and the garden? Yeah.
Those of you who like to do baby knits, again, I get a few calls every day, people looking for baby yarns, and what they mean is a fingering weight yarn that they can do something really fine with.
Wouldn't this make a beautiful baby blanket?
Oh, it would be a gorgeous blanket.
Or to crochet with too. If you wanted to do medallions and put them all together into a scarf.
It would be gorgeous, yes. Yes.
Anyways, this
Lovely.
my skein looks nothing like Richard's. What's gone wrong here?
Barb, you're such a loose person.
Okay, well maybe Robert's just a tidy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All right, hand it
this
over.
one, I don't think we even need to worry about a pattern with this one, Cynthia. This one is not going to last long at all.
No, it's not. Yeah.
And so we just recommend you pick some up, and heck, I might just put one in a flower vase
Right?
and just admire it.
Wouldn't that look cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when can people buy this yarn?
This goes out April 20th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time.
Yes, Mountain
Yeah,
Time.
that's 8 p.m. for those of you on the East Coast and 5 p.m. for those of you on the West Coast.
Right. So, say if you want, just get our newsletter, because we put out a special newsletter on this every month. It goes out just right at 6 o'clock, and it will remind you and get you in time to pick one of these up.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So April 20th, 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
Make sure your cart is ready to accept at least 3 of these.
Oh my God. I mean, really, like, can't you just see these in a flower vase?
Yeah.
I might have to get some to take home just to put on my... Nice job.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
You're a machine.
Well, it's tricky. Robert, you do a great job. Robert does the twisting. Richard does the dyeing. So
Yeah.
good work, both of you. Yeah, you really nailed it with this one.
While we're on bright, beautiful colors,
Yeah.
why don't you talk about what you're wearing?
I know. So this is an easy folded poncho, which I coerced my sister into making for me. We put together, a customer suggested
Yes.
that she would really like it if we would sell a collection of yarns. Like, instead of getting flowers, she would really love to have a curated collection of yarns. And so
For Mother's
Barb
Day or...
immediately did that. Yeah. And so we have these gorgeous little floral arrangements made up. And I said to Barb, I think this would make a really cool, easy folded poncho.
I didn't think there was enough yarn. But
Plus
there
the
is.
yarns are different gauges, so you've got a thicker yarn and you've got a couple of, I think there's
A mohair.
a mohair and then 2 DK weight yarns. And so I said, like, what do you think? Can you do it? Could ya? Could ya, please? Huh?
So I
Would ya?
did. I whipped it up.
Yeah,
And I managed to squeak one out. I mean, I used every little bit of yarn that there was, but I knitted at a bigger gauge. So it's looser, it's lighter, it's got cotton in it, it's really
perfect for
drapey.
summertime. Yes.
It is nice, isn't
yes. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
That color looks really pretty on you too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So that's why I love this striping feature, right? Because you can wear this with a lot of different things. It's got enough of sort of that creamy base in it to be really summery, but then you've got these other colors. So like the greens and the blues will go nicely with black, as well as with khaki and jeans and navies. So we've got, I think there's 4 different colorways that you've put together.
Yeah, they all start out with the base of the Katia Fair cotton. It's an organic cotton.
Yeah.
And we used that. We had like about 20 skeins left, so we just put it all into kits, and we teamed it with Elsbeth Lavold Silky Wool. There's 2 shades of green because we wanted to have a lot of green, spring,
Yes.
and then a skein of mohair. And in our case, it was a skein of blue mohair that also changed colors from a pale blue to a deeper one. And I
Right.
double stranded the mohair. So in the stripes there that have the mohair, there's 2 strands held together
Yes.
just to plump it up a little bit.
Yeah. So it's cozy, like we're sitting in here and I'm wearing it and I feel
The air's on.
yeah, I feel like it's cozy on my shoulders. But there's so many different sort of styles that you can do with this too. You can wear it. There's a seam in here where it's sewn together, so you can put that seam in the back and have the 2 sides more or less evenly over your arms, like a shrug. You can wear the seam in the front. It gives like kind of a neat little detail on there. You You can wear it asymmetrically like I am with the seam on one shoulder. And because it's knit at a really loose gauge, you get lots of drape in here. You can style it in different ways. I was just saying, you can put a little knot on the end like that. You could certainly pull it up with one of those jewel pins, or with a... like with those leather bracelets that Brick Bubble makes, you can put a little like fold in it and put that on it.
Yeah. You can bring the whole thing forward, Cynthia, and just wear it as like a slouchy big scarf.
Yeah, so tune in at the end of the podcast. We'll do a little bit of Barb telling me how to style it with the mic off, and that way we won't have the wires in it, and you can see some of the options for it.
But just bring your one arm forward, just to show off the hand paintedness in the cotton. So there you can see one of the cotton stripes. The cotton's white with blue and pink kind of speckles in it. And so it's really pretty because the speckle shows up in that white section.
And then did you stripe it with any particular rhythm, or did you just play with it?
The only thing I did was I either did 2-row stripes, 4-row, or 6-row. Okay. So the biggest stripes are 6-row, and I didn't do too many of those. I just wanted to kind of do it like a fade, or where it's just a little bit transitions.
Yeah, and then you were saying you hemmed one side as well.
Yeah, just because I had a lot of strands running up the side and quite a few ends too. So I just instead of weaving those all in, I made sure I tied them and turned it over and just quickly whip stitched the
brilliant. Totally brilliant. And it gives it kind of like more of an edge. The easy folded poncho is designed to not have a border on it, so it rolls up and it rolls under on the other side. So you've just kind of created a little bit of tailoring to it. Yeah, I love it. So check out the floral arrangements on our website, and we'll put a link to it in the show notes down below, so you can get one of your own and do an easy folded poncho.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks, Barb.
You're welcome.
I may not take it off.
It goes great with her hair.
All right, perfect. Okay.
What else have we got going on?
Well, we're going to talk about events. Oh yeah. Just a note to people. I did finish the Quick and Thicket Hat. I don't know if you recall this one, but this was a one skein project I did following a Kate Atherley class on custom hats. And so it's done, and the pattern is on our website. You can see me modeling it there. It's a free pattern. Just look for free patterns and the Quick and Thicket Hat. So that's a finished object as well.
That's so nice.
It's fun.
It looks really good slouchy like that.
Yeah, I think so too. And then, when on cold days, you can just pop the ribbing inside and wear it just like a beanie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as cute, but it's much more practical.
Double layers, really warm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've got one too. I don't know whether it's going to be a little hat, which I think it could be, or whether it's going to be a cowl.
Show us what you got going on there. That's interesting.
Weekend when we were doing Vogue Knitting Live, I took a skein of Touchdown, and this is yarn from the Carolyn dyes for us. It's
our football-inspired yarn.
It's our football-inspired yarn, and the cool thing about it is that it's knit with half of the skein being one color.
Now, Barb, tell us, are you knitting from the skein?
Yes.
Oh, she's breaking rules all the time, not winding it into a ball.
No, because I wanted to show off the skein. I mean, look, this is such a cool skein. You don't see very many like this. First of all, it's a jumbo skein. It's like a skein and a half of sock yarn. So there's over 500 meters on here.
Yeah, it's 150 grams, 550 meters. Per skein.
And half of it's dyed in one color. This one is BC. So these are kind of the colors of the British Columbia football team. And orange, and then 2 sections of white here. But what I've done is sort of stacked knitting, where Stephanie Pearl McPhee can teach you how to do this. Cynthia and I have been following Stephanie's Patreon channel where she talks about it. And it takes a little bit of math and working it out. But if you get it right, you can see how the colors stack up. So the orange tops on top of the orange, and the cream on top of the cream, and the black on the black. So isn't this cool?
And that does look really,
Oh my
really
God.
neat. Yeah.
This is so much fun too, because as I knitted at a fairly loose gauge. I think these are 4.5 millimeter needles. Again, I love these bamboo
With a fingering
flexi.
weight yarn. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a fingering weight yarn, and it's just so much fun because you can actually manipulate the stitches a little bit to get them to stack on top of each other. So
that's really cool. I bet it feels really nice.
It does feel nice.
Yeah.
You want to touch it?
Yeah, I do. That's lovely. And you really are in love with these flexi flips.
I
Hey?
am. And I love the bamboo ones.
So soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lovely. Yeah.
It took me a while to get used to those, I admit. I
Yeah.
had to really, I had to knit an entire sock before I figured it out. Mm-hmm. How, and I think the needles sort of loosen up a little bit too after you've used them.
You might find the cords a bit stiff in the beginning.
Yeah,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But love those.
That's really nice, Barb. And maybe
Isn't it great with
maybe a
those
nice segue into workshops and events too.
Yes,
Yeah. We've got a lot coming up in April.
hey?
Yeah. So I'll maybe do like a quick run through of some of the things
Sure.
that are coming up.
Go for it.
So first of all, we want to make sure that everybody knows about our Tuesday afternoon evening knit-along, crochet-along called Our Favorite Things. This is a free event that we do on Zoom. It's just people coming in and hanging out for an hour. We talk about our projects. We meet interesting people. Barb and I moderate the conversation, make sure everybody gets a chance to kind of tell us where they're from, what they're doing, and just hang out for an hour. So that's called Our Favorite Things, and you can sign up for it on our webpage.
It is free.
It is free, and we're doing Our Favorite Things until the end of April, and then we'll talk about maybe doing something a little bit different or the same. It's kind of a fluid association of folks joining in. So definitely check us out and come and say hello. See if it could be your thing as well. We're also having some really cool instructors come to visit us at the store. So we've got Anne Budd. She's going to do an intro to knitting in the round. So even if you know how to knit in the round, but you've been curious about other ways of doing it, you should join us. And if you've never knit in the round before, this is definitely a 1-hour workshop for you.
I think there's a lot of newbie knitters out there now who have just learned during COVID.
Yeah.
And I really think there's a lot of people who don't know how to knit in the round yet.
Right? Yeah. And we do get a lot of questions about wanting to knit socks. And so if you haven't knit in the round before, maybe knitting socks is kind of scary. So learn how to knit in the round there's many different ways of doing it. So now is a great time to sort of pick up something new and try it out. Socks
Or a baby hat, I think, are a great way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also got a visit with Gudrun Johnson coming up. This is through a program that we do in partnership with Longmont Yarn Shop in Colorado. They host a series of 1-hour chats with designers called Fiberside Chats. And so Gudrun Johnson is coming to Fiberside Chat on April the 10th.
What's she known for?
She is one of the Shetland knitters, and so she will be coming to us from the Shetland islands, and she'll be talking about what's different, new, interesting, unique about Shetland knitters.
That's so cool.
And you can sign up for that on Longmont's website. And if you choose River City Yarns as your local yarn shop, then we get credit for that. So we appreciate that. Anne Budd is coming back to do a class on finishing finesse on April 10th as well. That'll be in the afternoon, so you can do Gudrun and Bud on the same day. We've also got our local crochet instructor. She's wonderful. Her name's Heather, and she teaches a lot of crochet classes for us. So crocheters, we have you in mind all the time. She's going to be doing a class on crocheting a French market bag that starts on April 17th, and an introduction to Amigurumi. Those are crocheted animals, starting on April 21st. These are two really great classes, and we get really good feedback on them. So check that out and join us.
To know how to crochet in order to take those?
Yeah, you do need to know how to crochet, but the skill levels for all the classes are on the website, so you can check that out. We are developing a Learn to Knit and a Learn to Crochet series of workshops. So stay tuned for that. I don't have dates just yet. We're still planning out the curriculum on it, but we will have that coming very soon.
And Heather's going to teach those?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's really good.
Super.
Yeah. And then we have Kate Atherley doing a class on chart reading on April 24th.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. Yes, it is so handy. We love to work from charts. That makes the pattern writing a lot simpler, and it's much easier to follow. But sometimes you have some questions about how it works and how to read them. And Kate is really good at explaining the technical side of knitting to people. Yeah. She does it in a really super friendly way. So look for that one. And then we've got some other events that we're hosting as well. Mm-hmm. So we are going to be again at Vogue Knitting Virtual's Marketplace. Vogue Knitting is doing a series of classes and a really nice marketplace on the weekend of April 15th to 18th. We'd love to have you come and join us there. To get into the marketplace, if you sign up for a class, you'll get a marketplace pass included in your workshop registration. And if you just want to attend the marketplace, you can sign up for that on Vogue Knitting's website, Vogue Knitting Live. We'll, again, put lots of links into the show notes down below. But we'll be doing 2 one-hour kind of presentations in the marketplace, and we've got some fun things lined up for that. So you should definitely come and check us out, and stay tuned for. There'll be promo codes. There'll be really interesting things. Yeah,
special offers.
Yeah. And then we've also going to be talking a bit this month about a mystery knit-along. Yes.
That's right.
That's going to be starting in May, but we want you to get ready and join us. So in April, we'll be talking a little bit about what you need for supplies and what you'll get. And again, this is one of those initiatives that Barb and I feel is really important for our community, and that's about working together on a project, because we know you'll get it done if you have if you have a little bit of support along the way.
Well, you might not get it done, but you'll sure have fun along the way.
I think when we did the Pemberton pullover, a lot of people finished, right?
Except for me.
Well, you'll get there. You'll get there. We have so it's the same idea. We've teamed up with a great designer, and she's designed the mystery components for this mystery knit-along.
This is another thing that I think we have to talk about is that, it's been really tough during COVID for everybody, for local yarn shops, for designers, for yarn companies, everybody. And so we've got a really cool designer. Her name is Brenda Brayfield, and you need to look her up on Ravelry. She has a small curated collection of patterns, but this girl writes the best mystery knit-alongs. I've personally knit her last knit-along myself, and it was so much fun. So she's designed this for us. There's going to be 6 sections in it. Each one of them is going to change. So you're going to learn a new stitch pattern, hopefully, maybe a lace pattern. Everything, each week you're going to get a different clue. And how much fun is it to support someone who's, working on being a designer? This is the way that we're doing it. We're creating community, something for you to come together with us to do. And at the same time, we're trying to sell some yarn as well. So we've pulled together some really beautiful yarns that you can use, and they're summertime. So this is all about getting into summer yarns. The shawl's going to be done out of DK weight, so it won't take you forever to do it. It's very fast. Every week I felt like a big accomplishment was being made.
Yeah. So we're going to offer in addition to the pattern a weekly, right? A weekly Zoom session where Barbara and I will be on hand to answer questions, to keep you motivated, to kind of present and maybe reveal a little bit about the next clue that's coming out. And if required, we will also do some tutorial videos to help you along on that process.
I don't think it's tough though, Cynthia. And Brenda and her girlfriend Charmaine are also going to set up a thread on our Ravelry group.
Right. Yeah.
And so they're going to be there too, and it's a place for you to post your pictures. So after every clue, you can take a picture, and everybody can see the yarns that you've used, the colors that you've selected. And that's the thing about this, is that you need 2 contrasting colors.
Yeah, so Barb has put together some options for you, and so we've made it so that when you sign up for, or when you purchase, the bundle of yarn that you need for the Mystery Knit Along, then the Mystery Knit Along component will be free.
I brought some skeins. Would you like to see them?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's some of the yarns that we're going to put out.
Lovely.
I did mine in cotton cashmere. So I brought
Rowan cotton cashmere.
just 4 balls. And the idea is that you want to put together a light and a dark. You want to be able to see the contrast. That's the way that Brenda's designed this shawl. It's going to be, I can tell you that it's going to be asymmetric. And it's going to be a summer weight.
Is that how you bundled them?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Okay,
it is. Yeah. And I just picked colors like, that we had in stock, a dark and a light. You could do that the other way around too. I think you could put the pink with the cream, or and
we're gonna make some recommendations, but basically you can pick any two colors you want.
Well, you can. I hate being too prescriptive too, and I think that's part of the joy too, is picking your own colors and things that you like.
And Brenda's also suggested that if you wanted to do it all in one color, that would also be pretty too. Yeah.
Brenda did hers out of Summer Light DK from Rowan, and that's these ones. And she even used these 2 colors. This pretty pale pink with this one here, and I forget the name of this one, but it's almost like a mauve. It's got a purple undertone to it.
Yeah,
Really
it might read brown, but it's really got that, really picks up on that pink undertone, doesn't it?
There's something about Rowan's colors. They're so unique, right? We're using them for a number of different projects. And here's just another color combo.
I love that.
Do you like that
For
one?
people who like earth tones, that would be a really nice kind of bright combination for them.
This color is really popular this year too. It just sings, doesn't it?
Well, it would look really nice with green and with the summer colors, yeah. But again, if you wear a lot of khaki, green, or the brown tones, that color combination would be so nice.
This yarn's so soft,
It's
isn't
gorgeous. I love Summer Light DK. Yeah.
And then I put in a real fun one, a denim one, because this yarn is kind of a classic for us. They started it out as a select yarn, and it was so popular that they brought it back, and it's been in the line for a long time. This is Denim Revive. It's a recycled denim and cotton yarn, and it comes in all the standard denim colors, like the light denim and the dark denim, but it also comes in some pretty shades. And I just popped 3 in here. You could use whatever you like. Just pick, a light one and a dark one. The last yarn is Soft Yak DK.
Okay.
And this is another one of those yarns that's really unique because it's got a chainette construction to it with ultimate softness. There's something about yak. It's kind of like my Dissent Cowl with, the Angora and the cashmere. Every stitch that you knit is super, super soft.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah. This has a bit of a sheen to it too, which is really nice. Yeah. So things that have a little bit of cotton, some cashmere, maybe 100% cotton, may not be, maybe some recycled cotton. So lots of options, 4 different sort of yarn options. And we sort of figured out, with the purchase of 7 of any of these yarns from our shop, we'll be able to give you a code that you can use to sign up for download the login instructions for the knit along. This is a knitting project, not a crochet project.
Correct.
But we will continue to work on crochet options as well.
We
We're just really
put out
excited.
a crocheted project. There was a crocheted option in the easy folded poncho floral bouquets.
Oh, okay,
that we've
right.
offered. So we just did a crochet one, and now we're going to do a knit one.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to add about this is we're going to give you the meterage that you're going to need for this, for the main color and for the contrast color. So you can use any of these Rowan yarns that you want. You just need to make sure you have the right amount of meterage.
Right.
And each one of them are slightly different. So it might take 7 with one or 8 with another. But they start around the $80 Canadian range, and they go up from there. There are a few that are over the $100 mark, but not too many. And then you also get everything else that comes along with it, like the Zoom meetings and...
The pattern itself. I think you said Brenda has written it out line by line.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 16 pages, 6 clues, but you get every single line written out, which is so nice when you're doing a mystery knit along, because you don't have to think about it. You just check it off, right?
Yeah. So you're going to learn some really good, cool techniques. You're going to end up with a beautiful project when you're done, and it's going to feel amazing when you wear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
perfect.
so lucky because we have Brenda's sample. We have the one that I test knit, and then maybe you and I need to knit one along the way.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've already knit one, so I guess I have to knit one, right? But it's really nice to have. It's a great accessory to your wardrobe. You can't go wrong with having something beautiful to throw over your shoulders in the summertime.
Especially in summer, yeah.
6 weeks, you can have it done. Because we'll be motivating you along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, do we have anything else, Cynthia?
I'm just taking a quick peek at my list here, and I mean there are always new things that are coming up. I had a really nice visit with Holly Yo recently, and we talked about a number of classes that we want to run, including a sock class. So I have to get those on the schedule. Some of them may happen in April, so keep an eye on the website, see what's happening, and sign up. And I think it's always good to know too, with our workshops and our seminars, that we do record the sessions. So if you miss out, if you get a thunderstorm, if something happens to your internet connection, you haven't lost your seat in any of our classes. Yeah.
And we wanted to share with you Rowan 69 too, because Cynthia and I got a copy of the book. We haven't had a good enough chance to go through it yet though. So stay tuned. We'll give you a full update on the next podcast when we have some time to get into that.
Yeah. Now, Barb, will people still be able to pre-order 52 weeks of shawls this month?
Yes, 52 weeks of shawls. The new 52-week book has come out. Well, it hasn't arrived yet, but we're taking special pre-orders on it till April the 10th. So if you would like a copy of that book, let us know. You can
right away.
Order it on our website. We just ask that you order it without other things, because if we have to ship it to you, it'll delay getting your other things.
Right. Yeah. If you're placing an order for a pre-order and you don't mind waiting for everything else, like if you bought a sock ruler or some yarn, if you want it shipped right away, then make your pre-order in a separate order. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing book.
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
met one of the designers.
She just happens to be in our favorite things knit along. So yeah, come out on a Tuesday night and we'll introduce you.
Yes. And that's a design that's both knit and crochet. One of the 2 crochet designs in the book.
It's amazing. She's really amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Our
right.
friend Susan. All right. Do you think that's? Let me double check here. Okay.
You double check the list.
So
we have to announce the winner, though.
We do. So we'll take a very short little break here, and we'll do a little random draw for our winner, and come right back. Hey Barb, I did this like random shuffling thing on my computer to pick a winner for our $50 gift card, and the winner is Wendy Barron. Wendy, I got to read you her comment. It's so good. So Wendy says, so many great episodes. Who can choose a favorite? But the one with Barb's Glade hairspray is the only one where I scream laughed and then laughed so hard I couldn't make a noise. And my husband came running to see if I was okay or had passed out from pain or something. I love you ladies, and I'm so glad and grateful you've been there throughout the pandemic in spite of it all. I've learned so much from you both, and I'm a better knitter because of you. I dream of meeting you in person someday. Thank you, Wendy. That's so nice, and I'm just delighted that you won this prize. So we will be in touch to send you your $50 gift certificate from River City Yarns. Yay!
Okay, so this is kind of, like the first way to wear it, and the seam's going down your shoulder, right? Yeah. Okay, turn around. Let's just flip it around. So now we've got the seam that's going straight down the back. Yep. And yeah, that looks nice. And it's straight on the front and a nice vertical line running down it. You could bring it up a little bit more too at the neck just to give it a little bit more of a slouch. Just another look like that. Nice. Okay, and then let's keep on going with this. So now your seam is on the other shoulder. And pretty much the same look. You could, though, wear it up and bring it all the way over for a nice deep V. So more like a scarf. Very nice. That's sharp. It looks great with your black top underneath. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you had the idea about tying it in a little knot. Cute. Yep, you can, again, wear it with the line down the front. Just going to help you there. Look really nice too with a shawl pin. Just so nice and drapey, hey? I like that. So there we go. So I just want to show you this Dissent Cowl from Carissa Browning. This is a piece that we knit out of GGH Mussante. And it's a lovely blend of merino and angora cashmere. It's really a fun pattern. We picked a graphic black and white to make it out of. And the neat thing about this pattern is it's all mosaic knitting. So you're going to do 2 rows with one color and 2 rows with another. The pattern has a really fun turning row too. So you can flip the inside in like this. And it's a nice double layer. And then when you put it on a mannequin, you can see that it's got a really nice flare to the bottom. It just flares out over the shoulders. Really nice. And the fit's beautiful. I think it's just a really beautiful design.